I grabbed all shades of the new Kiko Milano Unlimited Double Touch Limited Edition. And there are 6 shades in this limited edition, never seen before, I think. But these are separate from their regular line. They are also a little bit more expensive. We have some interesting shades here. We have some pinks, some berries, some red, some very cool tone browns, and kind of like a grayish purple. I feel like they made some really interesting choices here. I'm gonna swatch them all on my arm, on my lips. I'm gonna share my thoughts and let you know which ones of these are worth picking up. Alright, we're gonna start out with the first shade in this line. This is the Unlimited Double Touch in 153. I don't know what the names are of these. Let me check the website. Alright, the website isn't loading. I don't know why, so we're just gonna continue. This first shade is kind of like a nudish peachy pink. I thought this was gonna be more of a cool tone mauve shade from the website, but looking at it in the store, I bought these all in store. These shades, like, they pull a little different than I was expecting, and this one as well. They also all seem very shimmery. Yeah, they all have some shimmer in them in the packaging, like if you look at it like this, but I don't feel like you're really gonna see that on the lips, but we're gonna be trying that out. I do think that I am really gonna love this color, but it's not as cool toned as you might think. Alright, it's finally loaded. It took me some time to get there. I don't know what's going on. If my phone is slow, if my internet is slow, if the website is slow, or maybe I'm slow. But this one is called Move&Mauve. And I zoomed you in a little bit. Let's apply this first shade. Alright, now I applied the first part, so the colored part. It now gets really sticky. I do see some shimmer actually on the lips. I thought I was gonna see less shimmer, but I definitely see a little bit of that. Let's see how it looks with the gloss on top. It's also a little hard to talk like this because it's very sticky. Okay, much better with the gloss. But I already knew that. I am familiar with this formula. It's also not, this video is also not a review of this formula. I'm just showing you some new colors. Yeah, it's definitely quite a shimmery lip product. Yeah, I was not expecting to see the shimmers this much, but you do really see them on the lips. I do feel like this color is not the most smooth looking color I have tried. It's not bad, but I do see a little bit of it kind of like seeping into my lip lines. Kind of thinking like, should I have applied a little bit more lip balm before? But I did prep my lips, so it's not that they are super dry right now. And yeah, it's not that it's bad, but it's not the most flattering, most smooth lip product that I have ever tried. It just emphasizes the lip lines a little bit over here. Besides that, I do think that it's a pretty color. I do feel like the shimmer in this is quite flattering. It doesn't look weird. It doesn't look metallic. It's not like, why is the shimmer in here? Just keep in mind that this is not one of the fully matte ones from this range. Yeah, I do think that I'm gonna enjoy wearing this, but I feel like I have to be a little bit careful with when I wear this, how I apply it. Maybe I should have scrubbed my lips before. I don't know. But yeah, pretty cute. Alright, that was really hard to remove. It just, for your information, I do use a waterproof makeup remover, but it's still pretty difficult. Yeah, I hope it's not gonna look too messy throughout this video, but I'm doing my best. Next up we have shade 154, and 154 is called Alljuring Game, and this looks kind of like a burnt red orangish shimmery liquid lipstick. It looks like a really pretty shade. For me personally, maybe more something that I would wear like around Christmas. But let's see how this one looks. I have applied quite a thin layer. Now it seems kind of more like a cool toned red. Like, this doesn't look the same at all. This looks very warm toned, and this looks very cool toned, almost kind of like raspberry red. This is definitely not what I was expecting from this color. I'm not mad at it, but it's very different. Like, can you see how different it looks? I'm gonna try another layer, see if it's more similar. Alright, so another layer of this is definitely possible, and then I feel like it looks more similar to the packaging, but there's still something a little bit more cool tone here. Like, I definitely don't see the same shade here. Am I going crazy? Maybe. But I like it. I like the shade. I feel like this sits on my lips a little bit more flattering than the lighter pink one. I do still see the shimmers on the lips. I feel like this is quite a versatile one because, okay, it is a little bit more sheer when you apply the first layer, but when you apply the second layer, like you get kind of like different shades. You can kind of like customize it. You can make it look a little bit more cool toned. I do kind of like the sheerer look that you can get with this. So let's apply the gloss. Did that make it look more warm toned? No, it's still not the same color. Wasn't expecting that. But yeah, I actually really like this one. I am pleasantly surprised. I really like the color. It just looks a little bit more like a cool toned red and it's kind of muted. And I feel like this one looks really flattering. Like this is really, really nice. I can definitely see myself wearing this one. I kind of bought this one for the review because I thought it was going to be too warm, but now I am pleasantly surprised. Even when I remove it, it just looks so cool toned. It looks pink. This is definitely gonna hurt more than the video where I swatched 15 colored lip balms on my lips. Like this is already feeling rough. Alright, next shade that we have is shade 155. This looks kind of like a cool tone berry shade with a purplish cool tone shimmer that runs throughout it. This one looks really interesting. I am very excited to see kind of like this cool tone shade. But now I'm like, I don't even know anymore what's gonna happen with this on my lips. And this one is called Night Vibes. It's definitely giving me night vibes, like evening going out vibes. Once again, this one isn't really opaque in one go. It's kind of sheer. I don't mind it. Like I like to be able to wear things a little bit more subtly, and if I can build it up with another layer, I'm fine. But keep in mind, these formulas are a little bit more on the sheer side. You could also already see it in the swatches. It's just almost a little watery, but I feel like it kind of like solves itself when you do another layer. So we're gonna do another layer. Yeah, this is a beautiful shade, a very kind of like cool toned purplish red. I feel like with this one, I don't see a lot of shimmer in the formula. Maybe it's because the shimmer is more like similar to the actual color, but I don't see a lot of shimmer. Like maybe a little bit of a glow, but not really shimmer. Okay, let's apply the gloss. Alright, I really like this one, but it is a little deep for me. Like it looks a little vampy. I cannot, my coloring, I cannot handle deep shades of any kind. I am a light summer, so probably if you have more contrast, if you have a deeper skin tone, it's not gonna look as vampy as it does on me. Keep that in mind. But like just looking at the shade, I think it looks really cute. I don't know if I'm gonna wear this a lot, but I think it's a very beautiful shade and it's nice and cool toned. I have to say, now that I've applied the gloss, I definitely see more shimmer, but it's nothing crazy, nothing too much. If you don't like shimmery lips, I think you can still enjoy this. And I also feel like this is more flattering than that first shade. Alright, shade 156 is more of a like chocolate brown, kind of on the cool toned side, but not super gray, like cool tone brown. And this shade is called Dusk Gleams. Very interesting names. This one has kind of like a golden shimmer throughout it. It looks really beautiful, very kind of like fall appropriate. This whole collection kind of makes me think of like fall going into Christmas. I find it a little bit of an interesting time for you to release these, but you do you, Kiko. We're just doing it. We are applying a dark brown lip. Alright, one layer definitely looks very odd with this shade. I find this shade promising, but it's so sheer and watery. This definitely needs another layer. Like this is looking patchy as heck. With a second layer, I still feel like it looks a little patchy. Like, this is not looking good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's not looking good. Should I do a third layer? But that's like, that's going too far, I feel. Like, if I have to always do 3 layers of this, I don't know. Alright, for the sake of the video, we're gonna do another layer, but I'm not happy about this shade. This is not going well. I don't like this one. It's still grabbing onto the lips a little weirdly. I don't think it's very flattering. Let's see if the gloss can help anything. Yeah, the gloss is making this look a little better, but it just looks so patchy, guys. A shade like this, I feel, should be full on pigment. Otherwise, it's just gonna look weird because it's too deep. And it's just gonna look patchy. I feel like they shouldn't have come out with this. I feel like this is pretty much a dot in the line. I wouldn't recommend it. Even wearing this in one layer looked weird. Like, every type of layer that I've done, and I've done like 1, 2, 3 layers, it's not good. In a way, it's not the worst thing ever, but I feel like it's just patchy. The 6th shade that I have here in front of me is kind of interesting. This is kind of like a gray purple with quite a blue undertone. Quite out there. I don't know how many people are actually gonna wear this shade, but some people might be really happy that there's finally a little bit less of a conventional shade in the line. And this one is called Starry Groove, and this is 157. So this one I definitely bought for the review. I don't think I'm really gonna wear this, but who knows, it might surprise me. It might look different on the lips. I like that red shade. Let's apply. This is quite an interesting shade. I also feel like this is still a little bit on the sheerer side, and I can still see my lips through it in different places. It looks a little uneven, but I feel like if I would apply another layer, then this would be fine. I feel like this is a better formula than the brown one for sure. It's an interesting shade, but I'm kind of feeling like maybe with a different type of gloss on top, I could kind of like mix and match, get it interesting type of lip look. I don't know. Yeah, this is a nice formula, I would say. But it is a very blue lip. Like, it's very blue. It's like a very dark periwinkle almost. But I quite like it. I would say that the application is not perfect, but all in all, this is a quite nice looking shade. This one seems to have kind of like silvery shimmers in it. But I don't see it right now on the lips. Maybe I'll see it when I apply the gloss. I feel like for the type of color that this is, it does look good. Am I gonna wear this really? I don't know. It looks quite deep. Like, it looks even deeper and bluer, I feel, on my lips than it does in the packaging. I feel like this is for very specific people. But if you're looking for a color like this, I feel like this is a pretty good one. Really tough to get up. Alright, let's do the last shade. This was a journey. This was tough. Okay, 158 is the last shade of the limited edition line, and this is a cool tone, kind of lighter brown. I have more faith in this than the dark brown. I hope this is gonna be a shade I really like. So far, I feel like we haven't had the most luck. And the name of this one is Irresistible Seduction. Very interesting. And this one seems to have kind of like champagne shimmers in it. Alright, this one I like. I like the formula, I like the color. It doesn't really fit with the rest of the makeup, but with the right makeup, like, I feel like this could be a really nice color. It's not too deep. It is a nice cool tone brown. I see a little bit of the shimmer, but this was like one layer. Finally, we have one layer, yay! Yeah, I like this one. It looks really nice and smooth. It's maybe not absolutely perfect looking, but I had like, my lips have gone through it in the past like 45 minutes. I have asked a lot of them, so I'm just gonna accept this application. And for the state my lips are in, I feel like this is looking really good. Okay, let's do the gloss. Yeah, with the gloss, this one just looks perfect. I really like the way this sits on the skin, like the way it sits on the lips. I really like this color. It's a little bit out there, but I still feel like it's somewhat wearable with the right combination of other makeup, with the right clothing, the right vibe. If I'm going for this vibe, I would like to wear this. Alright, let's discuss. In the end, I think the light pink wasn't too bad, but it isn't like the most flattering shade I feel of all of them. But maybe if I do 2 layers of this one as well, this could be pretty good. Like, this was not bad, the light pink. Then the red that turned more cool toned red. It's a little different than I was expecting, but I really liked the shade actually. Pleasantly surprised. I liked the berry. It's a cute shade. A little deep for me, but I feel like if you're someone who's a little deeper than me or has some more contrasting features, then this is a really good shade. The brown I hate, wouldn't recommend it, not a good shade. I don't like it. The almost gray blue periwinkle dark shade. If you like a shade like this, I think it's a pretty good one. I think it's a good formula. This is one of the better formulas I feel in this range. This is a pretty interesting shade. They've really done something different here. Like, if you like this shade, go ahead, I would say. And then lastly, the one I am wearing now, I quite like it. It's a nice shade. It's a cool tone brown. It's a little edgy, but I don't know what is going on outside, but I need to finish this video, okay? I quite like this shade. Alright, this is gonna be it. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.